Fast am I. On behalf of Culture Vannin, we're delighted to welcome you to the launch of Fiddyl Reesht, an amazing new resource for more advanced fiddle players. I cannot think of three better people to be involved with it. Laura Rowles, whose own PhD focused on the Manx fiddle tradition and who has edited the whole work, alongside fellow contributors Lawrence and David Kilgallon. They're three of the finest fiddlers, teachers, composers and arrangers the island has the fortune to have. We're so proud of how strong the fiddle tradition is once again, and those familiar with the history of Manx music will know that the fiddle was very cherished really here, and we're delighted to see this exciting resource emerge to support our wonderful cultural community. And without further ado, over to Laura.
Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you for coming. It's lovely to see so many people here. So I've been wanting to do this book for probably about 5 years, and it's just been a bit of a labour of love, but it's here finally, and I'm so grateful to Dave and Katie for their contributions to it as well. Also need to say thank you to Pedro Cobley and Mike Bolton, who've let us take some of their tunes and arrange them as well. A huge thank you to Brisha and Chloe and James as well from Culture Vannin, who, well, one have funded it for us, and two, James has helped with the amazing cover, which features a jock and violin. So I see Graih before. Has he gone off to do? He's in the other room now. So a Manx violin on the cover of, and on the back of a book of Manx fiddle music. So that was James's idea to do that, and I think it's really kind of like modernised the look of the books as well. So this book is designed for kind of grade 4 to 5 level students. We're also very lucky to have a really distinguished composer who does a lot of ABRSM. Sorry to embarrass you, Sarah. Sarah Watt, sitting at the back, is a really well-known composer who writes a lot of stuff for ABRSM. And these books are designed, now that we've got the performance exams, the recorded exams, these pieces are designed to be able to be used as part of ABRSM exams for students. So if you don't know about these exams, you get to do 3 pieces which are from the syllabus, and then you get a 4th own choice piece. So we just think it'd be really nice if Manx violinists taking violin exams got to play Manx music as part of their ABRSM exams. So there are pieces with piano accompaniment, there are unaccompanied pieces, and there's also duets as well, because all of these things are now permissible as part of the ABRSM exams. So we're going to do a little demonstration today of some of the pieces in the book. There's way more, and me and Katie have kind of like trialled them on our students. So we're going to get our students to play for you today. Hopefully we'll get to hear some of Dave's pieces again when we get more students doing them. So we're going to do 7 pieces for you, and we're going to try and give a range of grade 4 and grade 5 pieces, and also some unaccompanied ones. Unfortunately, you've got to listen to me play the unaccompanied one because one of my students couldn't make it today. So I've got to step in and play it for you, so apologies for that. But the rest are all played by students. So we're going to start off with River, and River's going to play Shooyl Ineenyn, which is the Walk of the Girls, which is a really well-known Manx dance. So this is an arrangement, does that stand right with you? An arrangement for fiddle and piano on this one. I'll tell you a little bit about the next tune. So this is one of the duets. This is a grade 4 duet. And it's 2 tunes. We've also kind of thought a little bit about the folk awards as well. So the criteria for the duet classes and the folk awards is that you have to play two Manx tunes. So this could be used for that as well. So this is Manninagh and Sprit and Beg, which is a lovely tune that I learnt when I was a teenager, written by Mike Bolton. So it's about a Manxman who goes away to Brittany, learns a Breton tune, and then comes back to the Isle of Man and reverts back to his lovely slow Manx air. So that's the first one. And then a traditional tune for the next one, Trevor Rugger Crease, When Christ Was Born. So that's a Manx carvel. So Eilean and Cara are going to play. They played this duet 2 years ago, I think, in the folk awards, and they've had to try and remember it this week. But they've done a good job. So Eilean and Cara. So Eilean is the son of my ex-boss, and we had babies within like a couple of months of each other, and joked at the time when they were babies, maybe one day they'll be playing duets together, and sure enough, here they are. So, shall I hand over to you? Do you want to introduce your one? Katie?
Hey, so Well, Catherine's going to play you one of my tunes called Kiaull Castle. You can also find this in my book, which is on that stand. But yeah, so we're going to play Kiaull Castle. It's self-explanatory. It's about Kiaull Castle.
He's going to play from the actual new book.
Yes.
Because he forgot his music. This again is one that I wrote years and years ago for one of my students to play in the guild. This is Variations on Flitter Dance. So Flitter Dance I think is probably one of my favourite Manx tunes just because it's so versatile and people play it in many different ways. So I've kind of done an arrangement of 3 ways you could play Flitter Dance. So the first is a nice slow air, which is quite creepy really, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then we go into the real version that most people know and then finishing off with the jig version. There's also a lovely change passage that goes up really high and does some harmonics, which is always fun. Right, let me grab my music. on to Kinnoull. Laura's going to play Kinnoull for us. So Kinnoull is one that was written by Fiddyl Jeesaid, who's a whistle player. And it's one of those Manx tunes as well that it's a really, really great tune. It's lovely on flute and whistle, but it works well on violin as well. And it's become quite famous around the world because it was taken on by a pipe band in Scotland. And it's quite, like, as a march, it's quite rousing, quite stirring. So pipe bands love it, and it's been played all over the world now. So Pedder wrote this when he was living in Scotland, and he told me he was sitting on top of Kinnoull Hill in Scotland and admiring the view and missing the Isle of Man at the same time. So this is all it's quite a reflective piece about homesickness, but also having a lovely time in the country you're in as well. Katie and Frank are gonna play now. Let Katie explain this piece.
The last one was my grade 4 one, and that was more about sort of shift and playing in third position, if we're talking technically from an AB point of view. This one's kind of like, it's got some crazy key changes in it. It's called Tom's Reel, and Tom is Tom Collister, who was one of my first pupils, and he's gone on to do great things up in Scotland now. I'm with Beckley, bit of Dave from there as well. And then Frank's going to play it, and I'm going to attend the piano part. I'm going to apologise now, just getting that disclaimer in there. It might not be exactly what's on the music. Okay. So, I'm nervous. Frank's just going to play. This could be interesting. Nearly. I would like to also just say that, like, when I write a tune, I don't necessarily think about writing it for an exam point of view. We just sort of put the bowing in, and so it was quite a different sort of thing for me to have to write it down, and like, because we wouldn't necessarily do it the same every time. So like, that was completely different for us. And Frank's like, yeah, I lost the bow in there, but it's, at least you know what it sounds like anyway. Thank you also to Frank and Catherine, and also remember that actually it's a big thing to get up here and play in front of a load of people, some people that you don't know. So well done to everybody.
Yeah, second that. Thanks for so we're going to do one more piece. So this is an unaccompanied piece that I wrote for grade 5, and it's another of my favourite. I just got to choose on my favourite Manx tune. So this is Graih Foalsey, which is False Love, which is about a guy who falls in love with a girl, and then he goes away and finds out that she's got married to somebody else in the meantime. So it's a really beautiful, quite sad song. One of my favourite ones. So thank you all very much for coming. Thank you again to Culture Vannin especially, and David and Katie, who, like, I'm really proud to have been able to do this book with them. And yeah, it's just great. And hopefully we've got some repertoire that's going to keep on going for kids and adults and people over the world. The first Fiddle book that we did, I ship it all over the world. I've shipped it to Canada, Australia, New Zealand, America, quite a lot. So this music is going all over the world now, which is really great that people are playing Manx tunes everywhere. So this is Graih Foalsey.